Welcome back to another episode of a very basic space program. Last time we went back into orbit with our Icarus craft. We've completed a few missions, we're going to look at those. But this time I think we're going to try and go for geostationary. Please join us. So here we are, our craft has just been recovered. The Icarus 3 has landed. We got no science for that. We got no science for anything. We just get all that stuff. We get a little bit of funds back for the capsule. Evgenja Krasnova manages to get up to 1 star, which is wonderful. We do get some points because we completed some science on that mission because we had the 2 science tasks on board that were transmitting, that's why. So we're going to put those into our new VAB build queue. There we go, look at that big jump that caused. So we now have enough to do that if we want, but first let's have a look. Thank you very much. Yeah, wonderful. We're going to hold off on first rendezvous now, and as I said in the last episode, we're going to look at geostationary. Now, this isn't a big contract, but I think it's something I want to do early on just to experience it. We also need to look at lunar landing, and I think lunar landing and potentially first rendezvous and things like that, we're going to want to build a new launch craft or do some significant adaptation, shall we say, but we'll think about that. So geostationary, we're going to take, where are you? I've lost you there. There you are. Right, we're going to take you. We need to be in a specific orbit, which is, and I would always write this down, it's 35793 and it actually, does it have a period? It doesn't have the period on there, so I'm not sure if it's actually sidereal there. So it may be that you don't want to aim for, there you are, it says up here, I'm being silly. You don't actually want to aim for 24-hour period. You want to be in what's called a sidereal day because simply way to explain it, if you imagine standing on the Earth and if the Earth rotated once in 24 hours, it would also have gone round the Sun slightly. So the Sun would no longer be, after 24 hours, directly above you. So a sidereal day is basically the reality of it, shall we say. To stay perfectly above the same point on the Earth, you have to do a sidereal day, which is actually how long the Earth takes to rotate round its axis to exactly the same point in space. But a day is how long it takes for the Earth to rotate around its axis to the same point relevant to the Sun, shall we say, so that the Sun's directly above the same point on the Earth in reality, or along there. Yeah, you get the idea. I could do a diagram. If you want any more information on that, please do ask me. I could actually do a little tutorial or something to try and explain it to you, because it's a bit sort of counterintuitive to it. So we're going to take that anyway. So let's go build a craft, and then we'll see if we can actually launch it on anything we've got. Now, we have some new tech that we have not used at all. Now I think we should probably use it for this. I think we need to have 25 units of something on this craft to start with, so we'll put that together to start with, and then we also are going to need some electricity and things like that on board. Right, so here is what I've come up with. I'm not entirely sure if this is the best design in the world. I think it could be better, but let's talk through what it is. So we've got our little RCS tank on the top there with HTP. We have our payload there. Then we've got our service, our avionics unit, which is Deep Space Science 1, and then we have here our integral tank pressurized with fuel for our little Aerobee XLR in there, and we've got some solar panels on the side to provide electricity to basically this craft. Below it, we're actually going to use an RD-0109 engine with a little tank of fuel just to give it a push, and I'm very torn on this stage. It's very good thrust to weight, but in an ideal world, I would probably go for the S15400. It's slightly better, 2 ignitions, and would actually allow us potentially to do this with 1 stage instead of 2 stages like this. But maybe if this one doesn't work, we'll look at that. This comes in at 1.5 tons, which is right on the limit, or slightly over the limit of our launcher. So I have taken our launcher and I've stretched it just a smidgen. So we've stretched this stage just a little bit. We've stretched this stage just a little bit. Hopefully it will still be okay. It'll be tight as to whether we get to orbit. These numbers suggest it might do it. It might be very close. It really depends on the quality of the launch. So we're going to try this. I'm going to tool it. we're going to take it to the pad and we're going to see what happens. So it is tooled, it is ready to start construction. We're going to move it up the rankings just a smidgen there, so it is now at the top. But that does, because we've got two production lines going on at the same time, we can actually be producing some of these Icarus craft at the same time. So we need to actually have a look at that and go, is there another mission that we want? Below that, 9 hours. You know what, we'll take that, because that cash will be good, although it's going to give us 6 months. Yeah, 3 months. I think we'll take that. We're going to put some more points into that second build queue, I think, just to get that underway, and it will be useful for us in the future. We also need to think about this lunar landing, because if we can put something into geostationary, we're heading towards being able to do lunar landing. But I do think we need to build ourselves a nice big craft on the 300 ton pad and use that for some of these missions. So we'll have a look at that. So let's accept that, and then let's go spend some points. So we're gonna actually, I was gonna save all this, but you know what, I think we're just going to get some points going on into the VAB, primarily into this second build queue, just to take it up there like so. So that takes it well up. Let's give it a little bit more, and another one, and another one. Let's take it to 1. There we go. So that now means that the Icarus will be finished in just about a day less than it normally would if it was on the main queue, and it'll be going second, and we'll do that in the next episode if we're not having to redo this one. So let's warp to the end of that. We've got some more tech coming in. We've got lots of tech on its way. And let's see how we're doing. Right, it is the 24th of November 1962. We're going to launch GeoTest 1. It is in the dark, but I'm not too worried about that. So let us give it a go. Right, it is the night. Let's try and launch this craft. I am a little concerned that we might not manage it because of the relevant thrust required. So here we go. Starting the engines and go. We have no control for the first couple of seconds, I'm guessing. Yeah, there we go. And then we get control back. That's okay. That's good. So we're going to tilt over nice and quickly, because we want to get ourselves starting on our burns. Wonderful. We're doing well. We're doing well. So we need to get through this atmosphere, and we need to get some of this energy used. We're going to be losing a lot of our delta V because of this air resistance right now on those, from those solids giving us such a push. Right, as soon as they are burned out, we've got every tiny little bit of energy out of them, we will get rid of them. There we go. Goodbye. They're gone. Right, now we're on our way. We need to be turning a bit more, I think. There we go. Right, so the aim here is we just got to get this craft into orbit. That's the only aim. It could be close, it could fall short. If it falls short, I don't know whether I want to use this upstage, just put something in orbit for no reason. I could actually put up it could end up being a rendezvous target, which would be interesting. So we'll think about that. That is an option, a potential for us. We'll keep that in mind. Right, I'm happy with my pitch and everything at the moment. I just need to be aware of it. The second stage is a long burn. It is 6 minutes. It is a very long burn, so we need to be aware of that. So we may want to loft slightly higher, I'm not sure. Right, we're on our trajectory nicely. This stage should take us well out of the atmosphere. So there we go, we're just getting down nicely. I'm trying to be reasonably smooth with this for once, whereas normally I'm quite vicious with it. I don't want to move too far away from that prograde marker. I want to just try and keep it not too bad. We don't want to get too much drag, and now I'm actually reasonably high up. I'm going to start just tilting over a bit more. Steering losses are going to mount up, but you know what, I think we can cope with them. So there we go. We're now going to just allow this to keep going. It should take us well over what we want. I'm hoping anyway. Let's see how it goes. I'm not sure whether it'd be better to go for a slightly higher orbit and just take on board this thrust instead of being wasteful and then let it drop. I'm not sure what would be the best way for us to do with this. Actually do a Centaur sort of launch proper one, but I'm not sure. 20 odd seconds to go. Okay, down to 10 degrees. We're just going to keep it at this 10 actually. If we can get to a 200 kilometer orbit, I'd be really happy with a 200 kilometer orbit actually. I think that would be really nice for us. This I want to try and get up as high as possible. This time to apoaps needs to be as high as possible. because my concern is that we just don't have the time to get to where we need to. Right, do that, fire that, there we go. Right, we are now on. One other thing I have actually done is I've actually shrunk down the HTP tanks on this stage here, so they're actually tiny compared to what they were, because we don't need to do much on-orbit maneuvering with this stage. All it's going to do is basically put us on target, spin up, and then this stage will be unguided. And you will notice this stage is unguided, does not have avionics. This is an unguided stage. It could go horribly wrong, and it will then detach once it's fired, and this stage will basically be left to do its maneuvering, position itself, all that sort of stuff. So we will see what happens with that. And now it's just a long road to orbit. So we're going to do a bit of timey-wimey warpy, because we can. And yeah, this thing is just going to slowly make its way to orbit. It's still not even at a thrust weight of 1, which is really, this is you know, we've got a minute left on this, got 4 minutes there. Oh, it's going to be horrible. I can just feel it already. It's going to dip back down into the atmosphere, and we're going to burn up. I don't feel confident about the amount of delta V that we've got. We should have enough. Looking at this, we should potentially have enough, but it's about putting it down in the right place at the right time. And I don't know if we have that right now. If we can get this to orbit though, this is a lot of mass for this craft to have actually managed, and it's not the prettiest launch profile in the world, obviously, but it's not terrible. It is not terrible. So we're about 10 seconds. Right, okay, we're going to keep it at 10 degrees, actually, because I can. But we actually need to be monitoring this as well. So where's our vertical velocity is not great. That's not brilliant. We want to basically, yeah, that's going to accelerate pretty quickly. We need to get right. We're above 1 now. I don't want to waste too much thrust getting that vertical velocity down right now. I want us to try and get that horizontal speed up as much as possible. So we're gonna speed up a little bit more again. And when we've got about a minute left, then we'll think about what do we need to do, what do we need to put into place to actually get this thing into orbit. Okay, so we're down to about 1 minute 40 left, so 100 seconds to go. We are minus 100 meters per second. We've got a big distance. Is this starting to slow down? I don't know. This is going to be, it's going to be potentially tight. So we're down to a minute now. Let's put it into here onto the minute marker. Right. So we're on the minute marker, and this is going down. Okay, good. Oh, this is going to be close. Because we're now losing we're losing a significant amount of our thrust just actually keeping ourselves from falling. Oh, this is going to be so potentially tight, isn't it? We might even end up using RCS to actually do this. And I don't have extra RCS or this, that. Right, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. All right, we're gonna drop this down to 5 degrees because I'm gonna be optimistic. I think is the phrase I'm gonna go for. Optimistic is now the phrase we're using. Right. Okay, we're gonna be tight, and yes. Oh, yes, just right. If I put the RCS on and just give it a little tiny nudge, just to get us, I don't know. Oh, actually, we have some little RCS on this. I just need to be aware of this. Where are we? Where's my RCS tanks? I can't see you. They're so small, I can't see them anymore. Right, okay. Right. Ooh. So, just gonna thrust this up until we're at 150. There we go. Come on. Get me to 150, and I know I don't have to go to 150. I'm actually thinking about clipping the top of the atmosphere. In reality, could have launched that better. I had 200 meters per second spare. Right, so we know this craft can do it, actually. We just got to trust that it will come back to us. We've got to trust that the orbit will come back to us. So I am going to, and this is probably a short episode, I'm going to end that here. And next episode, we're going to try and get this thing to actually go to geostationary. So from me, until next time, have a great one.